Imagine, if you will, a truck much like the one you're seeing right here, which is a 1990 F-150 six-banger that I'm currently working on fixing the clutch on. It is currently my shop vehicle, and my goal here is to create a practical electric fully functional truck that could work for pulling your trailers, taking your boat to the water, anything, construction, anything that you do with a truck, for farmers, for everybody out there who just wants a practical use truck that you don't have to worry about plugging in. You can jump in and take off, very little maintenance required, and it would be fully 100% electric. So not only would it be a very practical truck, you'd also reduce your carbon footprint on this planet. And long goal would be to taking the used vehicles and eventually, instead of them all filling up junkyards and junkyards all over the place, would be eventually start recycling those and turning them into like new, basically a new vehicle for under $5,000 that is 100% electric and meets all the current safety standards and exceeds the safety standards, and offers all the Bluetooth and everything that you find in your current vehicles with the fob key and all that stuff, everything that you currently love and that you constantly hear about in commercials for vehicles that are, for most people, are out of the price range. And as is, most, like a Tesla or something like that, is out of your price range. Well, my goal is to make a car, truck, and eventually leading into semis, into a fully electrical vehicle that you do not have to plug in, is 100% green, and in the process there is going to be little to no waste created. It is going to be 100% green creation. I'm hoping this is something people can get behind, and if you have any questions or concerns or anything, I'm just tired of companies saying how they're green when to me they're really not that green. Their vehicles are not that green. The technology's there, but they don't do it. I'm just sick and tired of our dependence on foreign oil, and at the time I decided to throw my hat into the ring, hence the picture of a hat. My hat being is the picture on the page, because basically it's me throwing my hat into the arena. There used to be a time when there were so many different mom and pop little car companies that have come and gone, and there hasn't really been any small car companies in a long time. Just the big main ones in the US, the big Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and then you got some of your foreign markets that come over. Each one claims to make a good fuel efficient vehicle, which some do, but they're not as good as they could be. It's kind of one of those things that has bugged me for a long time, and it's a project I've been working on for a long time, just never knew where to get my funding to complete my dream of actually making a fully functional heavy-duty truck that you could also take on a long road trip. You could travel cross country without ever having to plug it in. You could drive for 3 days non-stop and never once have to plug it in. Very little maintenance required. The only thing you'd ever really have to mess with is maybe checking the transmission fluid. There's no coolant in it, so there's no coolant you have to worry about. Maybe checking to make sure your windshield washer fluid's full. And of course, the one thing I can't get away from is tire wear. I mean, you're gonna have to put new tires on every so many, roughly 40,000, maybe more miles, depending on the tires that you put on it. My goal is to make a car or truck under $5,000, put top of the line everything into it, and basically make a brand new car out of a used car and sell it for under $5,000 to make it more affordable for the average Joe to be able to go and buy an electric car. And that might lead to them getting some tax deductions, But also by it being a used car, I believe you don't have to pay as high as your tax, title, and license fees shouldn't be nearly as high, and your yearly title fee would be for a used vehicle versus it being for a new vehicle. So there again, instead of paying like maybe $400 a year for your title, because of it being a used vehicle, you might be only paying like $100. So it's going to put more money in your pocket, and it's going to be fun to drive because I'm not cutting horsepower. I'm going to make it a very powerful, very functional vehicle, something that is going to be more fun to drive than just about anything out there. And if you would, just imagine with me a truck just like this, back in looking as if it did, coming straight off of the showroom floor, sparkling and bringing new life into everything around it. And thank you for your time.